My name is Suzie Wokabi. This is Founders Friday. I am a wife, a mother, and a beautypreneur. I'm the founder and chief creative of SuzieBeauty, which happens to be Kenya's very first makeup brand. The concept of the business came from a place of frustration because I'll go back a little bit. I studied international relations in college, which I never really did anything with because I went thereafter to work in the fashion and beauty industries in New York. And I found my love for beauty there. And I also went to a media makeup school in Los Angeles. Now I came back home after an almost 10-year stint in the US and came to work in the media makeup artistry space. And there were not a lot of professional makeup artists at the time, so it was easy for me to hit the ground running and build a name for myself quite quickly. I did come home with a full suitcase full of makeup, really good product that I'd worked with all these brands, and I'd collected a kit over a while and a great portfolio as well. Found the gaps that I was supposed to fill in the industry because the cosmetics retail space at the time, and I think mostly still now, is a place where everything is imported and unaffordable. So what I was buying in the US for about $20, I was being sold for here for $90 to $100. So apart from I couldn't afford it myself, that was not a sustainable option for me for my work as well as my personal use. And I realized that I can't be the only one suffering. So I decided, I woke up one morning in January of 2009 and I looked at my husband and told him, you know what, I'll just create my own product. Initial capital, my husband who founded the business with me was working at the time, so we didn't need outside funding, at least for the first few years, which was, I'm gonna say, for the first 2 years, which included research and development. A lot of that, I actually opened my laptop one morning and 6 months later shut it because it was just research and research. And I knew what I needed to do with a brand and how I wanted the product to be. And found out quite quickly that we could not locally manufacture because nobody had ever done it before. That's why it's Kenya's first. And so we had to find outside manufacturers because I created the product with a chemist and none of the raw materials available in the country. So it was a process, even just creating the product. And finally traveled around, so that's where it was a bit capital intensive, and we managed to do that in-house, within the house, and went to various continents and countries looking for contract manufacturers who were going to agree to actually manufacture what I've created instead of showing me their showroom and I just put my logo on whatever they've created. And my second year I spent testing product, so not money intensive then, but the third year we also knew by then we needed a chunk of capital. So the third year was spent fundraising, which was incredibly painful. Nothing I would wish on my worst enemy. So it was, we tried banks, of course, they laughed us out the door. Startups are not supported by banks, fact. So finally convinced 2 different investment groups to invest in a startup which they had no idea would make it or not. So, and then thereafter also got a loan from Chase Bank with some of the clout from the investment group. So I was looking for about $200,000 at the time, which was about 16 million shillings, yeah. My purpose in life is to be a part of the growth of the African beauty industry. Very simple. And every day I wake up to do that. My most valuable skills, I guess my mouth talking a lot. Okay, of course, my makeup artistry background is priceless to the brand that I've created. Because understanding beauty in a very intricate way is a huge skill that I honed for very many years. And then I think my gut instinct, wherever SuzieBeauty is concerned, I just know. I can't explain why. So my gut, where beauty and SuzieBeauty are concerned, is always right. And then my passion. passion is a huge driver. My first job out of college, I worked as a recruiter. I was recruiting IT professionals and placing them in jobs. Like that was my my first out of college, go learn corporate America job. So yeah, very different from what I'm doing right now. But I guess they all add up. They all sort of mean something. My first job in beauty, I worked for Clinique, which is a beauty conglomerate. And they do a lot of great skincare. So I learned, they trained me on the job. And I also worked for MAC, who also trained me on the job. So all priceless. I think I don't have a failure, because I learn from all the mistakes I've made, and I treasure them. I love them for what they are, because if I didn't do that way, then I wouldn't be here. Success-wise, I think creating a brand from scratch, from nothing, it was nothing, and then holding a product that I've put my name on and that I've put all my love into, and people appreciate and do it and work with it and love it and use it, that for me is a huge success. I also have received very many business awards and entrepreneurship awards and personal ones. So those keep reminding me that I think I'm on the right track and I'm doing the right thing. My role model in terms of business, I'm going to say, is Bobbi Brown. Not the singer. She was a makeup artist who started her own brand in the US, and 4 years into it was bought out by Estee Lauder, and she's stayed on as a CEO for very many years. I think she's just newly retired, and I look up to her entirely. And we communicate, which is amazing. Yeah, I have a personal email address, so and I will meet her soon. In 2015, so we had come to a place where we'd used all our abilities and resources to grow this brand to where it had reached at that point. It was difficult, because especially finance-wise, running the business, getting it to another place, we had even started to plateau, we were out of product, so it was just a messy place. So it came to a point where we needed a really, really great strategic partner, and happened to be introduced to Harold Bangera, who is the director, the MD at Flametree, and hit it off. So he was interested, we were interested in a great partner, and he wanted an acquisition. We weren't sure that we were ready for that, but we talked very slowly. We spread it out, and everyone thought very hard and very quietly and slowly. And about 6 months into it, we decided to go with the acquisition. For me, that was the only way to get Suzie Beauty to the next level. And that's the basic line to get Suzie Beauty to the global arena that she needs to be on. I call her she. Attributes to my success, I'm going to definitely start with passion. Passion for what I do, and passion for what I believe in, and understanding my purpose, which is the African beauty industry. And so, not a minute goes by without me figuring out more to do for it, involving myself in as many things as possible for it. And everyone does feel my passion, which is, I think, the number one attribute. So I've never done any paid advertising. Until today, marketing companies and ad agencies hate me because I just don't pay for advertising, because I don't have to. I'm my own advertisement. I speak the word of Suzie Beauty everywhere I go. I do a lot of PR, so that's how I've gotten the brand to where it's gotten to, because of me talking a lot. I talk a lot. I did so much work for free for so long that I could now start to weed out what work makes sense and what doesn't. I've turned down very many brides because they're not the funnest people to work with, because it's all about it's their life, and they don't understand that, you can't call me at 3 in the morning about your makeup. We did your trial. Let's move on. I'll meet you on the day. You're good. But then that color, I think, So I have turned down a bunch of brides. I actually stopped doing bridal makeup for a while. I just retired from it. But I have a makeup artistry team, and we as a company, as a brand, do bridal makeup. In terms of other clients, yes. Actually, I killed one of my contracts because they were not following contractually. I was supposed to do the makeup for a very big TV show, and I had started doing it, and then they were bringing in other makeup artists, and so I just told them, let's cut it off. And they weren't eager to, and they tried to reel me back in a few times, but I'm like, no, integrity, we have a contract, this is what it said, you went against it, and I'm moving on. I attend a lot of events. I rarely will turn down a good networking event unless I'm like out of the country or something. Talking is really important, like even just getting feedback from somebody who is using the product, or who's an entrepreneur for longer than me, or who, and that's how you build that's how I built my own network. And it's people from all sorts of industries with all their own experiences. I've had very many partnerships over the years, and it comes down to like even from the investors who first invested, that's a partnership. The distributors who carry our product, those are partnerships. There's a very simple word, alignment. And alignment with those partners is, I've found through the years and learned from experience, that they're very important. And when you're not aligned, it won't work out. So I've had many that have faltered, and many that still exist. I found a niche in the market. I found a gap in the market that I decided to fill. I've made promises to my customer that I have been able to fulfill. And my main promise is international quality product, but that's affordable, created for us, the African woman, by myself, a beauty professional who is also an African woman. So not many people can claim all those things I've just stated. Well, I thought I would retire at 40, but I'm 41 and a half now, and I'm still grinding. So in 5 years, I will have added to my bucket of building the African beauty industry. And while Suzie Beauty will be a huge part of it, there will be more to it. For somebody starting out today, as an entrepreneur or a founder, make sure that whatever it is that you're choosing to do, that you completely adore and love and have all the passion in the world for it, because that's only what's going to get you up every morning to keep going. There's nothing easy about it. And so your love for it is what's going to keep you going. I think after I turned 40, I just realized that there's no need for worrying. Or I've always had like anxiety. So, I mean, even when I can remember when I was 9 years old and getting my report card, I'd be anxious. And now I've learned that if you can't do anything about this problem this instant, leave it alone. Focus on something else that's a bit more positive. In a few hours, you might find a way to deal with this other thing, but sitting there worrying and being anxious is not helpful to anyone, especially yourself, and even health-wise. So I've learned to worry much less on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Because if I can't fix it right now, I can't just like sit on it and let it eat me up. There's something bigger and better that I can do right now that's going to make a better impact. The Flame Tree Group, so experience, of course, because Harold has run this business since 1989. So even just like running a business in the right way, growing a brand, better, a stronger backbone in all ways is what they've brought to me and Suzie Beauty.
My name is Tesh Mbabu. I'm saying something. Okay.